Have you been in a situation where you were asked to do something that didn't align with your values, or it wasn't ethically sound, and how did you deal with that situation?
Yes. I'm not going to provide details because
For sure.
for obvious reasons, but
Absolutely.
yes. And it's very difficult, especially when they're in a position of power.
Mm.
So what advice I have for you and anybody else that's dealing with that kind of situation is you need to stick to those values, those ethics. You need to really focus on providing the information that they need so they understand why you are committed to your position. And if you're still being directed or pushed in a direction that you're not comfortable with, well, that's when you have to make a decision.
That's right.
And if it's, that decision, I don't mean to proceed with what you're being told to do, because if you're not comfortable with that decision, then you could not make it and risk your career, or you can move on. And it's okay. It's okay to move on.
Absolutely. And I think this happens more than people think in, bigger corporations, and you're asked to do certain things that don't align with your value. And it goes again back to the people and the fear that they have and the insecurities within them to say, hey, you know what? I got kids to feed at home. I've got a family. How can I make that decision where now I'm forced to give everything up and go start, finding another job or whatever it may be, because I'm not really comfortable
exactly.
with this.
And my view on this, Rob, is and that is, it's kind of like you do it once, you're going to do it again and again and again, and then you're compromised. And, you have to be flexible and knowledgeable about the situation. And sometimes maybe you don't, maybe you're not making a decision that is consistent with your beliefs. But maybe you need to think about your beliefs.
That's right.
Is there something that maybe you're too conservative in your approach, and that you should think of other options? And that's when you can, I wouldn't say compromise, because you're not compromising. You're basically saying, maybe I need to think about this. Maybe I need to look at options. And I always believe that the math sometimes doesn't lie, right? So
yes,
mathematically it works. It works. But if I'm not comfortable with it, then that's my problem. And I have to deal with that. And I'm maybe there is some things that I should do that I'm being asked to consider. But if the math doesn't work, the math doesn't work.
Yeah.
And it's almost, you can bend it and twist it any way you like. But if the math doesn't work, and even after you've looked at everything, you've even considered all the assumptions behind the math, and you thought about it from the perspective of, okay, maybe the math is wrong. And you've tested that. And you really stress tested that.
Mm-hmm.
And it still doesn't work. Then I don't know how you make a decision. Even if you share that and you communicate that, if that information that you shared is still not being considered or accepted as a valid response to the decision that you're making, that's not in that person's best interest, then you know that there's something else behind that.
That's right.
And you know that for sure you shouldn't be making that recommendation, or you shouldn't be implementing that recommendation.
Excellent. No, I greatly appreciate you being, candid and sharing that with us. Thanks for that.